Namaste, beloveds. We are delighted to be with you today to explore the mysteries. I am Sri Ram Ka.
And I'm Kira Raa. And welcome, 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 beloved ones. We are so glad you are joining us right here at tfrlive.com, over at onenesstalkradio.com, over at YouTube. If you want to watch the video while the show is going live, just go ahead, jump over to the YouTube channel, Oneness Talk Radio. All of our syndicates, we are so excited to be with you because, as you can tell by our great background here, if you're watching us, this is an extraordinary moment. This is a transitional energy that we're coming into. This is the gathering of the masters. And so thank you, masters, for being with us. And for all of you masters that want to give us a call, 517-208-1500. Again, 517-208-1500. And we are eager to be with you because how have those choices been this week, right? You know, we're transiting out of that mid-May experience, going into this, it almost feels like a locomotive of energy to me, Sri, building up to this June Ascension attunement.
Well, you know, the locomotive of energy, it's no coincidence. We just are having this magnificent full moon energy right now.
Are you guys feeling that?
And I've never seen a moon that just seemed to hang out in its bigness. You know, it for the last couple of days, it's just been reflecting a lot of light.
Bright. I mean, so bright last night. Sri and I were sitting in our little alcove in our upstairs apartment here, and the moon was so beautiful that we took advantage of Zodkiel's practice and started doing some really profound moon gazing. So if you haven't taken advantage of this full moon, it is absolutely perfect that this transitionary week of energy begins with the new moon. Begins with this big bright full moon, because it really is about it's like a beacon. It's like the bat signal for masters. You know, it's like just look up at the moon and it's like,
I'm
hey,
being called.
Right, we're calling you. We're calling you, you know, and that's really what's happening.
And part of the bigness, part of this energy escalation is calling forward that which must be resolved.
Yes,
the question is, are physical issues showing up? Are emotional issues showing up? And we could stop right there, and 70% of you would nod and go, yep. Because our bodies are the repositories of what has gone before.
Yes.
So consider for a moment, as the energy is purifying, as the energy is lifting, accelerating, that which has gone before, in large part, is no longer needed. You've captured the wisdom, unless you want to loop back in and live through another cycle of that. So our bodies are going to kind of bubble up with stuff that needs resolution. Now, if that isn't happening for you, hey, great. And what about your emotional patterns? Are they bubbling up, wanting a little more love and resolution? And if that isn't happening for you, hey, great. What about your mental orientation toward life? Are you in a place of positive, trusting energy and just saying, bring it on, let's have our life? Or is fear creating thought forms that cause you to doubt or question or distract yourself? Because the distraction energy, we've talked about that every show for the last month, watching the telly, too much social media, all of that stuff will pull you away from your core and into the mass illusion.
And this is all in preparation for this June Ascension frequency attunement. Now, let us not forget that in May, we all arrived at our core, which came from that experience of that April energy. And I want to just, I think I'm going to throw up, if you're actually watching us right now, I'm putting up right now the 2019 year in review. If you're not watching us live, if you're just listening, don't worry about it. We're going to explain it to you. So here's what we want to remember is that this has been building, right? June is when the entire every living thing on this planet is going to be affected by this ascension frequency adjustment, attunement, whatever you want to call it, recalibration. It's all happening, and we're going to be talking a lot more about this next week as well, because in January, remember, this is the year of divine awareness, and divine awareness reflects itself as a lotus. We are each the lotus of our own awakening. We are each opening and blooming to the level that we are ready. And so in this year of divine awareness, divine awareness is actually a breakthrough moment where you become aware of everything that you weren't even aware of, where you become the master of the experience versus the experience being the master of you, where you recognize that in this co-creative illusion, we are the beingness that is here to have this experience. And of course, eventually this experience dissolves, yet we're in this experience now. So the first cycle within a cycle we all completed was February 19 through April 16. So we burst into January to see the truth. And then in February, we started learning how to navigate these parallel timelines. And we've been talking a lot about this witness, or witnessing the witness. And then March was about this kind of reinvention energy that brought us to April, where it was in our face, illumination or illusion. And you guys know that's when we had a big month where we had several brushes with death and emergency situations, and where many, many, many of us had went through our own experience, bringing us into May. May is the core. It is the center of resurrection energy. So imagine in this year of divine awareness that June is the fulcrum, right?
Yes.
June is going to be there. It's going to be that balance. So why are we talking about this so much? Because, my loves, we are at the moment right now, and I always go to my beloved Sri Radha on this. So if you're watching us, you saw we just put up a quote, and since this is Sri's quote, Sri, what is it? What do you always say? Because more than anything, this coming week, this transitionary time into June, I think more than ever, it's like you've been saying this quote in preparation for this moment.
Well, life is a great school, and the quote is, you cannot play your way off this game board. The only way off is to lift your consciousness.
Now, really take that in, guys. The only way that you can get out of the mook, the gup, the whatever word you want to get.
The only way out of this illusion.
I can't even say the words. They're like all jumbling. Is a lift in consciousness, and this is about the entire planet. This is about that classic, I think it was the Einstein quote also, that you cannot solve problems at the level of consciousness that created them, right?
Exactly. Life is a series of avenues. We learn how to play the game. We learn how to do what's expected of us, and once we have played the game a while, we realize you can never complete it.
Right.
There will be an infinite variety of multitude of options.
It's a labyrinth that has no end, and that's why this graphic we created, you'll notice we're calling all the masters, and you notice the masters are the ones, I'm going to move out of the screen here so you guys can see this. The masters are the ones, right, they're the angels lifting back up into that cosmic unification, letting go of the concept of time, letting go of linear thinking, letting go of the need to even let go, right? Just free floating. And so Sri and I are calling out. We are gathering all the masters. We are all journeying into our core. And, remember that as June approaches and these choices, especially this week, we've had this whole core month, but the choices of this May energy are actually igniting everyone into what I'm seeing as unparalleled soul searching. How many of you have really been doing some deep reflection, deep soul searching, becoming aware of more things, gazing at things in a new way? And I have to share that goes in all directions. And Sri, I just want to take a minute, guys, and just share that for those of you that are currently journeying with my husband through his extraordinary master-filled evasive medical intuitive journey, crazy amazing, and he had yet his second journey with his group this morning. Well, unbeknownst to you, unbeknownst to Sri, because it's such a gorgeous day here. I mean, I kid you guys, as we're looking at our studio here, I mean, Sri, it's just
sunny and warm.
It's one of
green
those. It's a breathtaking documentary day here at Tosa Blue Mountain. Well, because my dogs were getting a little rowdy, I quietly came out, and I also wanted to sit down and take in the sun. Well, right outside of our studio here is this huge, almost like a tree that people call a hummingbird tree because it attracts them. And while Sri was teaching his AMI, and while I was sitting on those steps, the first thing I noticed was, I kid you not, the big, huge butterflies. I mean, but the one that I was particularly communing with must have been 3 inches tall, many different beautiful colors. Then not just one, but pairs of hummingbirds. And I was recognizing that in my core, in my center of resurrection energy, that in order to do this unparalleled soul searching, it also involves taking the time to remember what's right in front of us. And so I was grateful that our dogs were barking, that you were teaching, and I took the time to come out and capture that magical moment. This is really what's happening. We are in a magical moment where we each need to offer ourselves the release of the idea of time, hence today's graphic, with the embrace that there is always time to connect. No matter what the brain might try to tell us, no matter what people are trying to share with us, we are all right now expanding out through our core. We are in the embrace of lifting into our divine awareness. Are you taking time for that?
Wow.
That was a powerful discernment for me.
Thank you for
in
sharing
my
that. Yeah.
unparalleled soul searching.
Well, here's the thing is I think that the frequency upon us, the same frequency that is calling forth physical stuff.
Yeah.
So many people having medical issues. The same frequency that's pushing us to have the darkest night of the soul. This is the kind of energy that's saying, look deeper.
Right.
Connect to the essence, the essential, the center. And that connection to the center means it's time to have greater clarity. Clarity is the highest form of compassion. When we're clear, we're honest. When we're clear, we're authentic. When we are clear, we are outside of the distortions. And so, yes, be clear. What's important to you? What are you doing with your time? Where are you investing yourself?
Well, and this is really important because, guys, literally, and I know that Shri and I don't need to share this with you because you guys are all masters and we bow before that. And please join us at the Gathering of the Masters, our journey into the core, coming right up June 4th and 11th. Join us. This is a gathering of the masters because everything is heating up. Now, everything is heating up. Everything is coming to a rapid boiling point. Why is that? This is because of the imminent and massive ascension frequency, attunement, adjustment, whatever you want to call it, that's coming in June. And just, sneak preview of what we'll be sharing next week's video. June 16th is going to be a massive transition moment. So because of that, we are doing this on 2 Tuesdays, June 4th and June 11th. It is time to gather the masters. It is time for each one of us to discover where our mastery is taking us. And whether or not you think you're not a master, whether or not you know you're a master, no matter where you are on the journey of mastery, what matters is for us all to come together and to really own this energy and bring it out there. And hey, if you can't join us live, don't worry about it. You can get the recording, but join us, bring your mastery forward, because there's just, as you mentioned, Shri, more and more people are experiencing physical, emotional, spiritual challenges.
Yeah.
There is this repetitive dark night of the soul energy. I was looking over here in the chat room at Oneness Talk Radio. A lot of people already talking about that. How about those time slips, right? And that interdimensional distortions that opened up in February. So all of this is peaking in this June experience. And the peak of the peak is actually going to be right there around June 16. And then we're going to be sliding into the equinox. And guess what? By June 20th, we are already pre-retrograde. So there is so
cycle
much.
Upon cycle,
there's so much coming. And so what's happening, and maybe, Shri, this is what we should talk about a little bit more, is that the illusion that we are all part of, that we are all co-creating, the illusion is using all of this to keep you trapped, because it is a trap. And it's the illusion trap, and it's very much a game, and yet, my angels, by the very existence of this trap, it is actually an accelerator for you to jump ahead exponentially. And another reason why we were called by the divine directors to gather all the masters. And so that's the energy that's appearing on the planet, transitioning right now with this full moon. We are going to go from here all the way through to June 16. This is a big moment. It's a big weekend. It's a big week ahead.
There's a lot of important nuances to kind of extract in what Kira just shared.
Oh yeah, many
You-
nuances and many callers, by the way.
Let me. By
But
the way,
no, we don't. Just hold on, guys.
517-208-1500. Join us, 517-208-1500, because in a few minutes we're going to be taking your calls and having that fun.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to underscore something here. One, the mass consciousness is a frequency that is a starting point for your awakening.
Right.
Many people dwell there for an entire lifetime.
And or lifetimes.
Yeah.
And that's really, it's wonderful.
And when a person awakens is a lot like, when does a seed germinate? It's when the climate is right for them.
Right.
And so it's not for us to judge. What is important is to recognize, if you took birth here, if you're listening to us, then that is evidence enough that you are a master. Now the question is, to what have you applied your mastery? Are you a master of confusion? Are you a master of self-doubt? Are you a master of something else?
Oh, or are you multiple masters at multiple times? Because that's all okay.
Because yes, I know from my experience, it was like, okay, there was this veil, and then there began to get little holes in it. I began to see things differently, but it was only part-time this way, part-time that way, sometimes up, sometimes down. I think you can relate to this.
Absolutely.
We cultivate our mastery into an ever-widening lens of joyful beingness. And that's really the measure. Because when we start tracking with our joy, we start aligning with the highest frequency that we're open to at that moment. Mm-hmm. Joy is indeed your measure.
Well, isn't it though? Joy is your measure, and joy is also the portal. I'm going to put up the core pyramid here because since we're talking about joy, now guys, this is, again, join us on this journey to the core. Just go to StreamKira.com, just get yourself registered. It's a whopping $22 and it's a donation. So please help our humanitarian projects while you're helping yourself. But when you look at this pyramid of spiritual awakening, you'll notice right in the middle of it, and if you don't see it, it's a pyramid with 4 distinctive levels of consciousness. And what happens is that as we overlay our journey and the expansionary discovery of our soul group, which is part of what we'll be talking about in the first session of the journey into the core, is how our soul groups interface with this and how we interface with each other. But you'll notice in the middle, that beautiful pillar of light, that solid pillar of light that arises up into the divine moment of, the only way I can describe it is expansionary wisdom. That is the joy portal. And that cannot be played. That, I got to go back to it one more time, Shri, because I just love it so much. For those of you, I'm going to put up Shri's quote again, because that is the exact epitome of that. Yeah. You cannot play your way off of this game board. The only way off is to lift your consciousness. And that begins when we absolutely anchor into that joy that has nothing to do with emotion.
Well, and this is so important because some of us, especially those of you that were good students, think that you have to learn something to lift. I've got to study something. I've got to master.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes.
That doesn't lift you. That just it's information. It could be it could be lovely.
Fun,
what
right?
lifts you is to follow the frequency of the greater opening and empowerment.
Yeah.
Joy is a higher frequency energy than sadness, is it not?
Absolutely.
Joy is a higher frequency energy than just peacefulness.
Right. Well, I want to jump in here, Shri, because I was looking over here in the chat, and we have so many beautiful people over at the Oneness Talk Radio chat. Hey, if you're chatting over at YouTube, we really tried. We really wanted to chat over there today.
We thought we might do that,
but
it's too much back and forth.
Everything else flowed except for that, but we are broadcasting. But hey, over here, Anel. Hey, Anel. Anel is saying that everyone mentions my calmness, so maybe that's my mastery. Well, absolutely.
Yes.
That's presence. And see, presence is the gift. And this is why this is such a powerful moment, because with all of the, and I'm calling them traps, and really what they are is they're like these beautiful little moments of remembering, moments of mastery. Anything that comes forward that tries to take you off, that tries to bring you off base, that tries to pull you out, and especially the media that is all a density trap. And the key is, and this is why we've been really working a lot this month with really pay attention to what has your attention. Look at the choices that are calling to you. Look at what came out in front of you. Shri and I mean, I won't share the exact details, but boy, this week of choices started out for us at an intensity right away on Monday. We did not get any moment. It's like we put out all the information, we uploaded everything into the app, and literally by Monday, we were in the face of it ourselves. So what I can share with you is that, are you inviting all of this to become an even greater moment for your mastery to shine, for you to flourish?
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Because that's a self-reflective question that really causes us to be honest with ourselves.
Right.
Life is happening. The question is, are you expanding with it, or are you just repeating the same old thing over and over?
Right.
Both are valid. You know, it's very important to understand that all choices are valid. All choices are useful for the one who is choosing. And all choices are an opportunity to lift to a higher context and a higher vibration.
Well, that's true.
So we live our lives according to the reflection of the state of consciousness we're in at any given moment. And so, it's a dance. We have to have mercy on ourselves. We need to love ourselves and bring to completion that which needs to be completed.
Well,
then move on.
Exactly. And I want to jump in because I was noticing Scottish Ann was saying, that's me. I'm an info addict, and easing off a bit now. And we have guest 407. I'm ready for it to be easier. And lots of the rest of you in there. Of course, Shri's great coffee cup that we all know reflects the green screen. So everybody loves Shri's cup. There it is. the invisible coffee cup is really all very fun. And hey, namaste. Jean just jumped in from Washington, D.C. Namaste, beloved one. We're so glad you're here as well. So, hey, here's what I want to share. And Andrew is just jumping in on this as well. When we are aware of our, let's just say the grip of density, right? Use the word addict if you want, but it's all just the grip of density. If we are aware that we are gripped by it, which in your comment, Anne, is exactly that. Hey, that's me. I'm an info addict. Okay. Then once we are aware of it, we have the opportunity to actually command the light around it, to release the need for it, and to actually thrive beyond. And this is what's happening right now. And if you're an info addict, join Journey into the Core, get there. I mean, all of you in the chat, you better get there, because this is that important. Because when we have the opportunity to sincerely anchor in our mastery, and open up that broader ninth dimensional awareness, in that moment, everything dissolves. In that moment, we have the recognition that it's just the illusion that's been weaving this fabric of fear and judgment and doubt that turns all of these mechanisms anyway. And again, that's why we created the graphics that you're looking at today. So this is that moment. And thank you, guest 407 says, signed up. Thank you. It's a $22 donation for all of our humanitarian projects. Join us. And so the reason we're so emphatic is that, guys, I think all of you know, whether you're an info addict, whether you're checking in with density or not, we are at a crucible moment.
Yes.
Things can't continue the way they are. We all know we've reached a breaking point, and that there are many things conspiring to bring people to multiple breaking points. So why not let your breaking point be the one that breaks you free
rather than breaks you down?
Exactly, because that's what's coming. It's going to be break free or break down in June, and it's about the gathering of the masters. And so, Shri, speaking of the gathering, I know we're getting close to a break.
We have time to say hello to somebody.
Do we have time to say hi? Well, let's go right up here now. Now, before we click on this caller, I just want to say we're going to be going to Sedona, and Shri and I actually met for the first time in person.
Yeah, we were a telephone dating kind of scene.
We met online. Ooh.
And Sedona was the coming together in every level.
Read our first book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home. It's got the whole story. So welcome, Sedona.
Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, is it me?
It's you.
Yes, welcome.
Hi, namaste.
Oh my God, it's so weird. So this is Brian, but I'm Brian in Mount Shasta, but I lived in Sedona for 10 years. and I had my reading with you, Kira Raa, back
Yes.
a long
Oh, I
time
remember.
ago. That's weird.
Yeah, welcome.
Weird. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, welcome, and I love that your phone came up as Sedona, but yet you're bringing us Mount Shasta as well.
We're from
on
everywhere.
this day that we're calling all the masters. I love that you're our first caller.
It's also my birthday, and I have been having moments where I feel peaceful, I feel abundant. It's like the cosmic creator is here, it's alive. However, I am also a master of doubt, and I keep not being able to manifest what I really want, which is to do full-time healing work and bring in the light for others. And I keep going into this feeling of limitation that I want to move, but there's all this limitation of the physical world.
Well, all right, my angel, thank you for calling in, and I'm really, really grateful to connect with you again. So, my angel, I want you to bring your hands to your heart. I'm actually sitting a little straighter. I want my spine a little straighter, because what I'm seeing around you is a process, and we're going to be going off the air in just 14 seconds. But here's the process: you need to lay down on your bed. You need to allow yourself to cry, like force yourself to cry. A hand on your heart, pull out what's hiding. A hand on your other side, pull out what's hiding, and do it until you can't pull out anything else. And they're saying, then drift in the joy. And so it is. We'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
So for all of you on YouTube, the videos, we're going to have a little commercial break here and get a cup of tea, and we'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We are delighted to be with you live right now.
We really are.
Broadcasting through the radio stations of Truth Frequency Radio, Oneness Talk Radio, and all the affiliates. And, of course, we are live video at Facebook, YouTube, Oneness Talk Radio, and that's it.
And that's it. Other than all of you holding on the phone, give us a jump in if you want to. We're going to take a lot more callers during this half hour, 517-208-1500. And Shri, during the break, we had quite a bit of robust chat going on over at onenesstalkradio.com. And a couple things I want to jump in with. First of all, Brian, you're still there, and I'm so glad. I just want to share that I know we got out of time right before we left. We were offering you your mini soul reading, but I do want to share for all of you that the gift that Brian brought to all of us today is a way to really clear that which is trying to hang on, clear that which is trying to cling. And I really want to share that. I noticed here also, first of all, I want to thank all of you that are writing and saying, I've signed up, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be one of the masters. I'm saying, yes, I'm a master, I'm going to join the journey of the masters. Thank you. And also wanted to share, Sarah had a question here. Love this question. Do we have to release fear, or can we just make the choice to choose? I've been contemplating this earlier today. Well, Sarah, Angel, I love this question for many reasons. First of all, because it reflects, it's like a soul mirror question. There's one part of this question that's coming from your ascended presence that's questioning the questioner, but there's this other part that's trapped in density that has this need to know. And so what I'm enjoying about your question so much is that if you put that question up in a mirror, they're the same question. And they will both dissolve. And so it's very much a mastery core moment when we start looking at the way that fear is presenting and the way that we are looking at whether we're choosing to or not, how we are navigating fear. Because the consciousness of this planet right now is heavily salt and peppered with fear. And this has been building. We started talking about this many years ago when the Ascension escalator first opened. Let us not all forget that we are in a cycle that began in 2015 and will culminate in 2022. So we're getting a lot closer to that other end of it, aren't we? It's like we've been walking this ascension escalator and we're starting to see up there.
Well, like a good movie, the tension rises, the drama becomes more real and compelling.
The music gets louder.
and in this acceleration, everything is accelerating.
Yes.
And so it's important to recognize that choices have been in front of us. Choices.
Especially this past week, right? This past week has been about those core choices, not those little choices. We're talking core choices. And as I will share, even Shri and I, Monday and Tuesday was a very dark moment of choices for us due to a lot of things that people might have normally said were out of our control or out of our realm. And I think the real blessing of that was, number one, knowing we were in this energy. Number two, using the tools to really see it as a springboard for even a greater expansion.
There's I as I reflect on where I was those few days back.
Yeah.
There is an egoic desire to put things into their place.
Right.
To make a choice to put things back in a way that I understand it that way, versus to be open to the fact that it's going to be a little uncomfortable not being able to get a wrap on things right away.
Yeah.
Something is emerging.
Yeah.
And whenever something's emerging, all those structures in our brain melt a little bit. We feel a little
now I gotta
vulnerable.
Give you, for those of you that want to have some fun, okay, and I'm picking up on something in the chat room. So you guys have been talking about the core promo video. Hey, thank you. I actually did make that.
Kira was masterful.
I did. It took me almost a whole day, but and I'm still thinking I should tweak it more. But anyway, guys, if you want some real fun, okay, put a stop on the end screen where I put in all the credits and just have some fun with the credits.
Take a read at all the helpers.
Exactly. And Sarah, you are so welcome, Angel. Thank you for asking the question. And also I'm seeing that guest 805 is in the middle of a cry on return. Everybody has their moment of intensity right now, and each of us will walk through that moment of intensity exactly the way that we're here to do, that we're here to be. And so the key is for you to give yourself the gift of recognizing your mastery. And guys, this is why the divine directors, as I'm sharing this right now, I feel them tickling me. And forgive me, I don't mean to be a broken record, but the divine directors have been, tell everybody you know. Are you a teacher? Do you have a study group? Get your group together. All of you register for the program and then take the hour after the program to expand it even more together. Come together in groups. Gather as masters. Help Sri and I get the word out. We need help getting the word out about this program.
Yes,
we
please.
are that serious because, guys, June is it's right here. And this coming week is about the gathering of your mastery, about the gathering of what's coming. And so please bring yourself into your mastery. And if it doesn't matter if you're saying, oh, I'm not a master, then come anyway and discover and remember who you are. If you are a master, bring your energy and support this energy. We talked about the warriors. We talked about the 5-star generals. That's what this is. This is the meeting of the masters. So please help us bring as many masters as possible into this session in June. And your $22 donation is helping all of our humanitarian aid projects that go through the Mastery Mentorship app project. So thank you. Thank you on every level. You're not just helping yourself, you're helping humanity.
Wow, and that is a fact, because as we grow, as we evolve, we become ever more compassionate, ever more authentic, and ever more our presence will mentor those who are finding their way.
Yeah.
We took birth on this planet in order to evolve through it. This is not a squirrel cage of repetition.
Yeah.
Well, it actually gets there for a little while.
It does.
Then when we realize we're in the repetition, we begin to pop through.
So guys, because of what Sri just said, this is totally off the cuff, but I have to share with you. So, I talked earlier on the show while Sri was doing his AMI this morning, and the energy was just so crazy and gorgeous how I came out and I had this amazing self-reflective experience with the hummingbirds and the butterflies and the birds and just the majesty of Tosa Blue Mountain. And with all my heart and soul, at some point in your life, please get here and touch this energy.
It's amazing.
It really is. But check this out. So because I wanted to support my husband, and this actually does tie into the energy, I went down to our temporary kitchen. And so Sri and I, what a lot of you guys don't know is even while my poor husband was in the hospital in April, we have had for the past 2 months, the entire wing of our house has been gutted and is being remade. So
Construction time.
Big time. So those of you coming in June are going to freak out at how amazing it is. So we've been living on this little hot plate in a little teeny part of a room, and I have to wash my dishes outside
with
in a sink
hose,
with a hose, the whole deal. So it's been 2 months, 2 more weeks I get it back. But I had what I'm calling the Alfred Hitchcock moment.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going downstairs to surprise Sri. And this is just like so classic of the energy right now, to be aware. I opened up the door and I walked in and I've made this little area and I have like an old-fashioned baker's rack and that's got all my foods on it. Well, somebody had opened up my coconut milk and not sealed it. And I'm standing there thinking, what am I going to make Sri they'll support him for lunch? Am I going to do some tofu or some zucchini or what are we going to do? And I kid you not, I start hearing like rumbling of a plastic bag. I mean, like, that scratching. I turned around, guys, I kid you not. And I see the Anthony's coconut milk powder bag that had not been closed and it's moving. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, I can't believe this. The ray of sun came through and I could tell that there was a mouse in that package. And so I'm sharing this with you because talk about the unexpected moment. And so it took all the courage I had to walk up to that, seal the milk thing shut, put the mouse outside, open it so it could run away. And I'm sharing this with you because not only did this happen like just before we got on the air, but also because where is your mouse hiding? and what is hiding that you don't even know is there? And if it is, do you have the courage to face it and take care of it with love? That mouse did not need to die. That mouse did not need to be hurt. All that went through my mind in that moment, after I got through the kind of Hitchcock moment thing, was how can I help this being find its peace again? And if we can each look upon that everyone's in their own bag of coconut milk powder right now, you know? And
You're
so
feasting on your reality,
you're all
you know?
there. And so I'm sharing it with you because I thought it was just so rich and potent for what's happening right now. And the chat room, thank you guys. Hey, more people registering for Journey to the Core. Thank you for being a master. Thank you for knowing the master you are. We're very, very grateful. People talking about their mouse moments that were happening with them. Yeah, guys, my poor husband, when he came down from the AMI, I'm like, honey, if you're wondering why there's a bag of Anthony's coconut milk powder outside our front gate, it's because I had an Alfred Hitchcock moment.
Weak. Anyway,
it was so surreal.
And the marvelous thing about this is like anything, it hits you at all levels. You know, there's a momentary...
I mean, this little baby,
yeah,
you know.
but still, the bag is rustling. There's the momentary
It was a freak out. I was freaked out. Yeah,
there's
I
the
had my
momentary
moment.
freak out. Then there's the gathering of more resources and to look again and to recontextualize. Say,
Exactly.
okay, this is not some crazy whatever. This is just an innocent little mouse who found his slice of heaven in there.
Well, and I love it. Thank you, all of you at Oneness Talk Radio. One person, I used to be a mouse taxi. I feel that way too sometimes. We live in the mountains, you know. And I'm really enjoying the love and compassion. See, this is the love and compassion as masters, that when we come together in June, when we take those two moments together, whether you can join us live or not, if you live in a time zone you can't join us live, don't worry about it. You'll get the video right away. Let your mastery shine. Let yourself thrive, and let everyone you know join us. It is $22. It's a donation. Gift yourself. Gift our planet. Come together. And speaking of coming together, it looks like we're going over to this call board.
Yeah,
oh my
we've got
goodness,
more
look at all
people
these
standing
beautiful
by.
people. All right, are we going to Towson, Maryland Street?
Yeah, let's say hi to David from Maryland.
All right. Hey, namaste, beloved. Welcome.
Hi, this is David from Atlantic Beach.
Hey, David from Atlantic Beach.
Welcome.
How you doing? So I want to share a dream. It was so vivid. It happened about a week and a half ago. A pearlescent white arm came down and grabbed my arm, and I said, "Don't take me unless I'm coming back. I have a lot of work to do." And then I was launched through a wormhole, and I spiraled up, and then I went into blackness, and then I was looking down, and I thought, oh, this is the witness witnessing the witnesser.
Yeah.
And I was looking down, and all the planets, and then the voice came and told me that I am a creator,
Yes.
and then I was back in my room.
Oh.
Beautiful.
We're just receiving you right now, my love. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Yeah, you
I
are.
feel great. I mean, I was so charged with that, because I feel that's my path, my journey is to give, and so I am in Shree's basic medical class. So
Thank you.
It's all stepping stones to culminate into something wonderful. Don't know what that end game is, but I'm so excited to be on this journey with you all.
Oh, as we are to be with you, and I just bow before you, my love. They keep telling me preparation. You're in massive preparation phases right now. Everything for you is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and June for you is like massive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you next month at COSA.
I know. I just realized you were David. Anyway, yes, you're going to be here. I'm so excited to meet you in person. And that even makes more sense. So thank you. Thank you for bringing the blessing of you to all of us to receive today. We love you dearly.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks
my love.
for sharing.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Wow, you feel that?
Yes.
I don't we all feel that? And see, this is that mastery presence. This is that gift when we come together. This is that gift when we say, you know what? Enough of the BS, right? Enough of it. I am standing up. I am a warrior on the front line. I carry the crystalline presence of divine, manifestative, creative power. I know how to command the light. And that's what the journey into the core is going to give each one of us, the opportunity to command that light into a way that will just unify and blossom that divine awareness lotus and get us ready for the second half of 2019, because my angels, we all need it, especially with the June attunement coming.
Yeah.
Sri, how about we just have so many beautiful people who have been holding so long.
Well, looks like Terrell from Illinois.
Illinois, namaste. Welcome, angel.
Hello?
Hi.
Keep talking.
We heard you. There you are. Hi. Okay. Or
All right.
not. All right. We'll come back to you in a minute. Let's go to Concord, California, Sri.
All right.
Namaste, Concord, California.
Hi, Sri. Hi, Kira. Hey, you know what's so funny is listening to the show on YouTube and just enjoying you guys so much. But, Kira, you had reached up to your head and you scratched your head and you were talking about something. It reminded me of something that happened to me yesterday. We were in the hospital talking to a nurse about my husband's condition, and she was saying something to me kind of, I felt, wasn't quite answering the question, but instead of reacting, the strangest thing happened to the back of my head on the left side, which was a tingling all on the left side of my head. And this was a question for Sri. What do you think that was? Because it was so strange. Instead of reacting to her, I was trying to be kind and wait and see what I was, being told. And I'd love to get your thoughts.
Well, first of all, it's a blessing. I'm sneaking in. Let Sri share.
Well, and so when we have that kind of tingling, there is a message that is coming through.
Exactly,
for you.
especially on the left side.
And the left side is very much about where you're going. What's about to come into present time.
Exactly.
And so the thing I would say to you is time for you to lean into that message. And I because I'm kind of kinesthetic, I literally, if I'm hearing buzzing or something, I sort of lean into it.
He does, trust me.
and then relax my thoughts and say, basically, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm open, guide me.
That's the magic.
Is let yourself be informed.
Yeah.
Now, how you receive that information varies person to person. You might just have a sense of, oh, okay. And you don't know what the okay is, but you got it.
And I just want to firm that up, because what happened for you, my love, was you were being given affirmation that when you can hold that space of energy, you ignite a more robust, solid, direct connection. So you were being given affirmation and reassurance that says, as long as you can respond this way, let's see how much further you're willing to go. So like I jumped in at the beginning, this was a blessing, and I'm really grateful you brought it forward for all of us to be able to witness today.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I knew I would get just the answer from you both. Namaste. Have a wonderful
Blessings, dear.
weekend.
Namaste,
Thank you.
Angel. We love you. Namaste. Bye-bye. Oh, wow. I want to pause for a moment, because, this is a big moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big moment for humanity. And for all of you, Sri and I have so much more to share tomorrow during our show, The Voice of Passionate Action. So please make a note, because tomorrow we're going to dive more into how to navigate the coming week. Because remember, the coming week is very much about a call to mastery and preparation for the June moment. So it's a big week. It's a pulse beat. It's a heartbeat. So please make a note to join us tomorrow live, if you can, at noon Pacific time at Oneness Talk Radio, at BBS Talk Radio, of course, at our official Sri and Kira YouTube,
Yeah.
and everywhere else that all of our affiliates go to, because this conversation is too big for just one day. And there is a blessing every time we come together. I think all of you feel it, don't you? I know I sure feel it. Sri and I think every week when we're done with the show, the energization we feel from you, from our collective presence, is just extraordinary. It really, really is.
These gatherings are opportunities for you to practice feeling how connected you really are.
Yes.
It's one of the things that we teach at the Medical Intuitive Program is you can connect with anybody, anywhere.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And read their energy. And to learn how to do that is to
Right.
learn how to be of service. And when we're together just feeling the sharings and feeling the energy, we are expanding our capacity to trust life.
Yeah,
That's important.
Woohoo! I think that's really important. And Sri, let's take another caller. It looks like we're going to go to Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, it might be Brenda.
Maybe Brenda?
Let's say
Namaste. Hi. Welcome, Springfield.
Hello, it's Brenda.
Hi.
Thank you. I just want to say I've been with you guys for several years, and you have just helped me so much. And
Thank you.
And I just love you, and just so glad that you're here with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As we are with you.
Thank you. Anyway, I called a couple of years ago, and it was weird. I got through exactly 2:22, and it was just really great. Got a great message, and today I was kind of like felt like about on 3:33, and that's not when not when I connected. I don't know. Anyway, I was just I've been a really big turning place in my life. I'm ready. This full moon, I can feel it's big time. In fact, I recently just enrolled to the Aveda intuitive class and was going to go right to the live one, the first one, and then I kind of got knocked down by personal experiences of public that and got really low, and I'm trying to get back out of it, and just wondering maybe you could, a mini soul reading or just something to give me something maybe where I won't let that knock me down anymore, and I can stay up. My birthday's coming up, and the 21st of June, and I'm turning 60, and it's the 6th year, and I just feel it, so
Woo!
I would just, you could share with me.
Right on, girlfriend. I just had to start with that because Angel, when did you forget what a warrior, general, priestess you are? Hello, girl. I mean, the whole time you were talking, okay, all of you feel this right now? You feel this? Okay, the entire back of my medulla, my entire crown, I'm covered in chills as I'm sharing all this with you. Honey, it's because you're so extraordinary that those traps that we've been talking about, that's why you got through today. They're just traps. They're just landmines that say, are you ready? And the next time that landmine comes in, you're going to look at it and squash it. It's not about letting it come in. It's about taking up that crystalline hammer and saying, I don't think so. And I mean, honey, you are ready to flourish. And this, by the way, this circle around the sun for you, your birthday in June, your 6th year, the pillar of the Merkaba of light ascending, Angel, this is your moment. And so thank you for staying on the planet and for letting this moment come forward. And if you ever forget how amazing you are, you just send me an email or you pick up the phone and get in the show so I can just remind you again.
Okay, I will do that, and I thank you so much. And just namaste, and I love you.
We love
Much
you,
love
Brenda.
to you.
Namaste, honey. And I love all of you out there who, when I was sharing with Brenda, I was talking to you too. When did you forget how amazing you are?
Yes.
You are. I love this. And Nell put rock on gold dust woman. I love that, And I mean, when did any of us forget who we are? This is our moment. This is the gathering of the masters. And let us come together and dance and celebrate and sing and release the illusion. Imagine the party we can have together, letting go of that which would let us think we are anything less than the divine masters we are. That's what this journey is about in June. Please come celebrate with us. Come be with us and remember you and add your divine presence to what's going on, because the world needs you to wake up right now. You can't hide anymore. I mean, you can.
You can. But the snooze alarm isn't going to work anymore.
If you're going to do it now, because there's so much around to support you. This is the moment at hand.
It's sometimes we forget that all of those thoughts, all of those doubts, all of that heavy caca stuff, all of that, those are just recycled energies from an outdated paradigm.
Woohoo!
There was a time when we needed to feel defeated in order to find our strength. There was a time when we needed to feel pain in order to look for solutions. There was a time when we needed to look at the conflict between feeling small and realizing we were powerful.
Wow.
And those parallels, those polarities were training wheels. All of it is training.
Yeah.
And then we hit the moment where we realize I can't do battle with this stuff. I simply need to step out of it. I need to step up. I need to lift into the higher version of me.
Yeah, we do. And so there it is. Where's my Shri quote? Those of you that are watching us on YouTube, I'm sorry, I got to put it up one more time, Shri.
There is only one way to get out of this nut house, to get out of the pattern of repetitive fear-based reality illusions. The only way to get out of this game board is to lift your consciousness.
And hold it there.
And that takes a little practice and a willingness to enjoy the joy.
And that's why the Pyramid of Spiritual Awakening and all of those cycles of multidimensional presence are open for us all. We are the masters. Beloved angels, please make a note. Join us tomorrow, noon Pacific time, right at Oneness Talk Radio, over at BBS Radio, of course on YouTube. And I'm loving Jean Zafir right in here. Joy's my birthright. Pop, not drop. Absolutely. Too much chat going on for me to recognize all of you personally, but I do want to recognize all of you as collectively and say how much we love you.
You know, we are coming to a close for today, but before we close, we
Muy
got another minuto, and in a minute you can have a universe launch.
All right.
It's important to just revisit something here, and that is, you're always at choice. Your mastery is evidenced by the fact you took birth. Consider that for a moment. You wouldn't have been given the body if you weren't qualified.
Oh, trust me, you kicked somebody out of the line in front of you to get here. You're like, I'm going to Earth. Get out of my way.
And so, beloveds, as we come to a close today, I want you to remember that you're okay just as you are. Your mastery is evolving and expanding. And until we have the joy of being with you live tomorrow
and next week,
just bring a hand to your heart and trust that all is truly well. We're on our way together.
Namaste.
Namaste.
We love you.